Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leitbens.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we're on Granville Island and we're sitting in the review stage.
Empty right now, but we're going to talk to a couple people behind the scenes at this year's Vancouver International Jazz Festival. In the last episode, if you saw, we talked to a couple artists performing at the festival, but a couple people that make things happen later behind the scenes at the festival.
We love, well, actually, I love being on the stage, in the stage, near the stage. It's been a long time since I've been on the stage.
Right. Anyway, it's all coming your way after you watch this.
Well, I'm here on Granville Island inside the review stage for the 41st Vancouver International Jazz Festival. I just love this time of year. I'm here with Frankie Brave, who is the digital marketing manager for the festival. And Frankie, this is your 5th year with the festival. Interesting. You also are an artist with a band, an indie rock band called Parlor Panther.
Indeed.
And well, how does being an artist yourself influence the way you approach working with the Jazz Fest?
I think as an artist, I know how I would want to be marketed. And so I'm very, thoughtful about making sure I get all the information right and, marketing people depending on how I think they would want to be marketed.
Granville Island, where we are right now, is such a big part of the festival, up to 8 shows a day. That sounds just incredible. And our last little episode that we covered, we were at Performance Works. You've got a new series called Zameen series. And you also have the very popular Ocean Artwork series that's back. Tell our viewers a little bit about both of those.
Yeah, so our Zameen series is brand new this year, and it's gonna make it the 4th venue that we have on Granville Island, which is super fun because we have so much going on Granville Island this year. The Zameen series is going to feature some of the stars of the festival, some of our artists in residence, and some other big names that are going to come and collaborate together for this series happening in the afternoon at Zameen Art House on Granville Island. And then the Ocean Artwork series has been happening for quite a few years now. It's our outdoor venue on Granville Island, and it's always a big hit. There's like a big bar at the back, so you can like hang out with your friends and have a drink. And then you can also sit up front and catch the music.
I'm happy to say that I have been at that venue. It is fantastic. Don't miss it. This year, as someone who works behind the scenes and but also performs as a musician, maybe not this year, but you have before. What do you think the artists appreciate most about being part of the Vancouver International Jazz Festival?
I think the thing that is so special about it is that it brings back like the same community of musicians and people every year. So there's this sort of camaraderie. And I know a lot of people say that it's like Christmas for musicians. So it's everyone's favorite time of year, and like people that live here, you might not always see them out and about in town, but when the festival comes around, it's like, you've seen them every year for the past 5 years. And so it's really good at building community.
Wonderful. Sounds like a big reunion. I love the Jazz Festival. I want to mention also, I was reading in your the guide, you can get this online definitely, the improv karaoke on July 4th that is taking place right here on the review stage. That made me laugh at 11:30 p.m. here. As we close out, tell us just a snippet about what people can expect for that. That's new too, right?
That is brand new, yeah. It's going to feature Wendy Eisenberg, who is one of our artists in residence this year. And then it's going to have a band that's going to play the music live. And then they're going to curate the singers. Oh. So it's going to be a really interesting one.
And maybe you'll discover some hidden talents here.
Maybe.
That's wonderful. Thanks for joining us on Art City tonight.
Thank you.
Well, he was with us this time last year. He is back with us again. Cole Schmidt is the co-artistic director of the Vancouver International Jazz Festival. Cole, welcome back. Boy, a year passes very quickly. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks.
I saw a great quote. I got a couple of them here, but one you guys posted on the Coastal Jazz Instagram account the other day that described the lineup this year as big and bold and beautiful. Talk about the upcoming lineup.
Yeah, there's a lot to share and a lot to cover there. I kind of want to just suggest that people get their hands on the program and just dig into it because it's kind of all over the map and there's something for everyone. And yeah, I don't know if I would do justice trying to.
It's a big statement, actually. But if you look at the program guide, I think you'll get obviously viewers will get the gist. I know, as you mentioned, there's a lot of artists, something for everybody. I've seen you, and I think that's the post I saw was with you and Frankie, talking about the X. You guys seem really keen to see this. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, they're a band that I saw when I first started doing this work. I saw them in New York, and that is kind of burned into my soul as a very, very inspiring night of music, and just seeing a room come alive to that kind of energy. They've been at it for many, many moons now. They've I don't think they've been in Vancouver for about 30 years when they were touring with No Means No. And they're also members, people in the band are all crucial members of the improvised creative scene in Amsterdam. So similar to Vancouver or Chicago, where there's these people that just sort of are integral to the music, coming alive in many different ways.
I want to, the next quote I want to do is actually yours, but there was a really great article in the Vancouver Sun recently where you said this year is really defined by community, that you're once again working with the strength of your own music communities to deliver amazing performances, help build bridges, partnerships, and collaborations. And I love this, even offering alternative housing to artists in town from other parts of the world. After all these years, it really, really does come down to that, doesn't it? It's a community.
Yeah, and it's been like that since the start. So I'm not trying to pretend like we're changing anything. It's just a reminder.
Yeah, carrying the baton, though, so to speak, right?
For sure. And we had a lot of limitations, a lot of hindrances with FIFA coming to town, losing our hotels and cultural restrictions and stuff like this. So we had to be creative, and fortunately, we're Coastal's always been very connected with its own backyard, its own musicians. So. We were able to reach out to some people, and also some great true friends reached out to us and said if we needed a space for some of the traveling artists to stay, that they would be willing to help us. So,
that's great.
Yeah, it means a lot. And one other side of this that we were dreaming of when we were starting the work this year was having some musicians hang around for a little bit longer than usual to make an impact and play a few times and connect with the culture and connect with the people and audiences.
That's nice. I also love there's other elements to the festival that really touches me. Like I was mentioning to you earlier about the artist in residency, but you've also got artist workshops. Give our viewers a little more idea about that, because that, again, that is helping people along as well, and hopefully they grow with the festival as they grow as artists.
Yeah, it's that's kind of what I was saying, was that rather than people flying in, playing their show and taking off, they're hanging around for 5 or 6 nights and playing several shows and improvising with our improvised community and sharing their own music. So we've sort of amped that up. A couple of years ago we had Darius Jones and Farida Amadou. This year we have 3 artists. So we have Wendy Eisenberg, Patrick Shiroshi, who's teaching the New Improvisers Studio, and Kaylee Watts, who's coming from Ballacoola to do some shows and workshops.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Folks, it'll be here June 19th to July 5th. More information at coastaljazz.ca. As Lita mentioned, you can find everything online. Cole and Frankie, thank you for being a part of our second of 3 segments with the Vancouver International Jazz Festival. Thanks to the folks here at Review Stage, one of the venues. This Jazz Moment was brought to you by the 2026 Vancouver International Jazz Festival, June 19th to July 5th. The Vancouver International Jazz Festival, bringing music to the summer of our city for over 40 years.
Some promotional considerations provided by Star Wild Domes. Luxury in nature, transforming outdoor spaces into extraordinary destinations. For more information, go to starwilddomes.com.
Well, one of the things we like to do on Our City Tonight, of course, to our viewers is provide them with options of TV and film from other parts of the world. It's always good to see what everybody else is doing. In this case, the movie is called Kangaroo Island. It's from Australia. Here's a peek.
I didn't think you were coming back.
I never should have left.
Well, joining us from a very early morning in Adelaide, Australia, bless him for getting up extra early, the director of that film you just saw, Kangaroo Island. It is a great pleasure to welcome Tim David to Our City Tonight. Hello there, Tim.
Hi, James. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on this film. I really enjoyed it. And as I said off the intro, we love on this show when we can introduce our viewers to great film or TV from other parts of the world. And this is such an adorable film. Give our viewers a little, one or two cents, if you can, synopsis on the family that we meet in Kangaroo Island.
Oh, the family. Well, it's a family that's been broken up by a tragedy about 10 years ago. And they're forced to reunite because of a circumstance, and they don't really know why. It's all the father's idea. And so really it's about a family who was a beautiful family, but life happens, things happen that are out of control. And it is about their reconciliation and how they navigate their relationships through what has been a tough period. So I think what's been nice about it is we don't have to experience the trauma and the drama that they've gone through. What we experience as the audience is how they're managing to deal and cope with that. And I think that's why, it's infused with a lot of humor because life has humor. It's infused with a lot of tragedy because life has tragedy. And overall, the film is about, how life can be both beautiful and tragic at the same time.
And you've got this lead actress who, Rebecca Breach, who plays Lou, and this kind of gathering of the family clan, her part is really kind of forced on her. She's an actress once promising in Hollywood who has fallen on hard times. She's broke, so does accept the plane ticket to come home to Kangaroo Island in Australia. What a wonderful cast you have. And I must mention this woman's name as well, Sally Gifford, who wrote the script, because when you have an independent film, you don't have the budget to do all the pops and whistles, which I don't care for. You just need a good script. So talk about getting this cast together. And I also want to mention Eric Thompson, who plays the patriarch, the father.
Yeah, well, Rebecca Breeds was the first choice. She played Clarice in a Toronto production. That was the Silence of the Lambs spin-off. And I'd just seen that, and I didn't realize she was Australian, but she was on my list from the casting agent of people I should look at for that role. She absolutely loved the script. So we went out to her agent first and just said, look, tiny budget. We can't even reach probably 10% of her quote. But please have her read this material because it's a special script. And 2 days later, they got back to us and said, let's make a movie. But it all comes down to the script. And the script was written by a Canadian. I'm not sure if you know that.
I did not know that. That's good to know. Okay.
So she's my wife.
Okay.
She wrote the best script I've ever read. And so that's why I decided to make my debut movie with that film. I had been reading scripts from Hollywood, but they were... I don't know what's happened to Hollywood these days. It feels like when you read a drama, a great drama a great story makes the drama and conflict unavoidable due to the circumstances and the characters. And I think what's happening in a lot of movies that we see out of Hollywood these days is the story becomes an excuse for a lot of drama and a lot of action. A lot of the drama happens because of choices made by characters, whereas I think resonated well with this script is that the drama happens because it's inevitable, because life has happened to these people and it has put them in conflict with each other. And then they're good people fighting against each other, and their family fighting against each other. So yeah, that's what I think worked well about it.
One of the things, I was talking to a Canadian director recently about his film, and I alluded to the fact that what he was doing with the landscape was very David Lean-esque, great director of Chicago and Lawrence of Arabia, where the environment, the landscape really was a character. And I really felt that you had that with this film and the island. It's a beautiful place. And for Lou, you can't get further away from Hollywood than Kangaroo Island. But how conscious of you were when you were filming this with your cinematographer, making that like really another character in the film?
Yeah, it was always going to be a character. The film was actually inspired by trips to Kangaroo Island. My wife, who wrote the film, the Canadian, couldn't believe how the island made you feel like an animal. And so she wanted to write a script which made the audience, or made ourselves as humans, question the difference or the distance between us and animals. Because when you're on that island, you're very aware that you're an animal. It's a zoo without fences. And our property, kangaroos just come up and say hello. There'll be a goanna, a huge, lizard/dinosaur that will just walk past. Echidnas are there. The most bizarre is always around you all the time. And it got Sally thinking, are we just animals as well? Why are we meaning-seeking animals? Why do we think about God and the Creator? These animals don't appear to be. Maybe they are. We don't know. So we wanted to stay true to that part of the island, and also the shops and the pubs and the hospital. All those places are real places. We just knocked on their door and said, can we please shoot there? And we had to shoot 100 scenes in 23 days. So it was a fast and furious thing where we had to get the locals on board going, yeah, you can do that, sure. It was definitely a conscious effort to not make anything look beautiful, just shoot on beautiful lenses with a beautiful camera and grab what was there organically.
Tim, it's been a great pleasure talking to you, and congratulations on this film. I congratulate your wife too. I want to encourage our viewers here who can now see Kangaroo Island digitally. It's available. We thank you, Tim, and thanks to all the folks in New York who helped us put you to us. Much appreciated.
Oh, great. No worries. Thanks, James.
You bet. Cheers.
Bye.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying the show. We just wanted to take a little break here and remind you to check out our website at ourcitytonighttv.com. That's where you can check out extended versions of these segments in podcasts, as well as check out our YouTube channels. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Now back to the show.
Our next guest is here to talk about what it's like to be a foreign correspondent. Sounds exotic, sexy, or adventurous, but it isn't all that. But this guy certainly knows all about what it's like to be on the front lines. He was last with us in 2022 talking about his book, Digital Pandemic, COVID-19, How Tech Went from Bad to Good, returning after, 4 years. Michael Bossekew, welcome back to Our City Tonight.
Great to be back here and great to be in YVR.
I was going to say, how perfect that with all the traveling you do, you're in YVR, and here in this part of the world, which is great. For our viewers that probably recognize you, I see you a lot. We've known each other a long time. Your stuff is, you're called on for your expertise on Ukraine and that war and other hot spots on CNN, BBC, CBC. Yeah. Your written word is in publications like the New York Times. We should also mention your Substack letter, World Briefing. Give our viewers a sense of what it really is like to do what you do and travel around the world.
Yeah, well, great to be with you again, Jim. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Well, a couple of things here. I mean, number one, you're always on call because news doesn't wait for you to wake up. So oftentimes I could be in a particular time zone and a call comes from Canada or Australia or the US or Europe, and you got to pick it up. And I know it isn't a good habit, but when I'm even at home or on the road, first thing I do is pick this up and check BBC and New York Times, because in this day and age, you just don't know what's going to happen. The news cycle moves very quickly. Particularly, thank you to one guy in the White House right now. The other thing is just keeping your presence of mind, your frame of mind, because, I got to say, I travel a lot around the world. And as soon as I tell people, the moment I tell people what I do, they say, oh, news makes me depressed, I don't watch it anymore. So, you have to keep that in perspective as well, because are we always, the purveyors of bad news? So it's something I try to think about. And I always try to whatever interview I do, I always try to find kind of that silver lining to make people feel a bit better and not want to jump off a cliff. But the other thing, one thing I'm really blessed with by now is I've been on TV and radio so many times. I have a rapport with the anchors usually, so it makes it a lot easier because it can be very, very stressful, especially with breaking news when you don't have time to prepare. But one last thing on this, just so people know, two things. One is you're only as good as your last interview. That's kind of my philosophy. You could do a fantastic interview 5 minutes ago, you do another one, you've flubbed up or you make mistakes. That's what people are going to remember you for. And then the other one, you mentioned the thing about it being glamorous, but people like us, we live the news, we feel it, we think about the people, we see them oftentimes. So you got to keep your kind of internal equilibrium on balance too, because it can really sink you down, make you depressed as well. Not only the viewer, but the people delivering the news. So that's something I try to keep an eye on as well. So obviously exercise, sleep, being around loved ones, all of that stuff.
Yeah, it always amazes me too, because we both travel for what we do. My travel and a travel show is certainly far less stressful. But I do know how stressful it is to travel, and I've always been, and that's just doing what I do, but I've always been impressed with how you keep calm when you do, say, have multiple interviews, you've got to do one after another, and you're, say, in Kyiv, and all hell is breaking loose outside. Is that something you just get used to as a foreign correspondent?
You do get used to it, but my late aunt, she's was living in North Saanich on Vancouver Island. She always wrote to remind me, Michael, you're here for a reason. You're doing these interviews for a reason. You're doing this work for a reason. So as simplistic as it may sound, before those really, really big interviews, what I do is I call upon her from the heavens for this strength, for this chutzpah to make it through, because it can be very, very stressful sometimes. Preparation is the secret sauce for it, whether it's you doing your travel show or even for me. It's tough when you have breaking news, but I try to prep as much as possible because it calms me down. My notes are in front of me and I don't have to go, the worst thing you can do in live TV is to do guesswork or to speculate. And that's the thing that gets you into trouble.
One of the other things too is what great conversations you can have while you travel. I've got so many memories of just meeting people in various countries. You have been to some, I mentioned hot spots where conversations I'm sure can get very hot. You were recently just you were in the Middle East, near the Strait of Hormuz, which of course everyone knows is in the news right now. How did you find that?
Yeah, so my philosophy here is, and I'm blessed that I'm able to do the work I do in this fashion, is I don't want to talk to people from an air-conditioned newsroom half away from where the news is happening, or from, God forbid, a retirement home in South Florida. I want to be there and see it with my own eyes. So yeah, I think I'm one of the few that have been on both sides of Iran recently, on the Strait of Hormuz across from Iran, in Oman, and then more recently in Armenia. I was right on Iran's northern border with Armenia, telling people what we're seeing, talking to people who fled. So, but you're right about these conversations you have. I mean, I had conversations with everyone from a young family, they just gave birth to a baby, who fled. But I also, when I was in Oman, I had a conversation with a driver who pretty much echoed probably dozens of different conversations I've had since the war in Iran started. They're all saying times are tough because there are so few tourists. And the other thing, gas prices in most jurisdictions have doubled. So when you're a taxi driver or a ride-hailing driver or a jeepney driver in the Philippines, you're really being squeezed. So long story short, a lot of these guys and gals are working 18 hours a day. Wow. Just to put food on the table. That's how bad things are. And again, that's part of my storytelling, is it's very, very difficult perhaps for people to grasp onto what's going on between the US and Iran and Israel. But when you tell how it's impacting the common man or woman on the street, I think that's what people really remember.
Michael, tell people where they can find out more about you. As I mentioned, your Substack newsletter, World Briefing. Is there a website?
Yeah. So my Substack is michaelbocikiw.com, michaelbociurkiw.com. And happy to share with you, now a couple of times recently, it ended up as the top 50 rising in news on Substack, something I just started not too long ago, but so happy and proud that it's up there. And again, the tagline there is, we connect geopolitical dots so that you don't have to.
Nice. Yeah, there's so many things you do. It's impressive, and as I said, we've known each other for about a dozen years, and always great seeing you on various world news sites. Now, you promised me that you will come back later in the summer as we're going to do a deep dive into the financials of the World Cup.
Yeah, I can't wait. In fact, as soon as I stepped on BC ferries to come here today, and then now at YVR, it's everywhere, World Cup fever.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. It's difficult to avoid, and I do have a critical take, as you know.
Yeah.
But I was here for the Winter Olympics, and I did cover the World Cup in South Africa. So I'll be able to bring in that perspective as well after the tournaments are over. It'll be interesting to see how we fare from this thing. But of course, I hope for the best for Vancouver, for the province, and for the country, and for Team Canada.
That's right. Thank you, Michael. Great to see you again.
Welcome.
We'll talk to you later this summer.
You bet.
Cheers.
All the best.
This segment was sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.
Well, taking a little break from the show, just a reminder to check out all the great stuff online and in the magazines with our partners, the Richmond Sentinel.
Yes, we do all kinds of interviews, and we also do a little kind of hot sheet
We do.
in the Sentinel. So it's a lot of fun, some of the things that we've discovered over the last month.
It's a great publication, and you can also find some of the segments that we do, longer versions. They're on the Sentinel website. It's richmondsentinel.ca. Now, back to the show.
Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community.
Well, we're back here where we began the show at the review stage on Granville Island.
Part of this year's Vancouver International Jazz Festival. More information on the festival, where everybody's playing, the venues. It's coastaljazz.ca. Lita, we did this in the last episode. We featured the music of one of the artists. That was Corey Weeds. Who is taking us out this time?
Wonderful musician. That would be Dean Thiessen. So we're going to listen to his wonderful music as we watch the credits.
Yeah, I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Visit ourcitytonighttv.com for all the latest episodes, segments, and our new podcast. And please be sure to like and subscribe.
The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.